Hello everyone, hello chaps and ladies, Ryan here. Ryan here again. I've got another review for you of this time of it's the RF Centenary gift set. It's the RF Centenary gift set, but this time I'm going to be reviewing and building the 1/2 scale Supermarine Spitfire Mark 1. Supermarine Spitfire Supermarine Spitfire Mark 1A, which is this one here, which is this aircraft here, which is this aircraft here, which is this aircraft here. Which is this aircraft right here. These are these are my tweezers. These are my modelling tweezers, which I'm using as a point, which I'm for this purpose of this video, I'm using I'm repurposing as a pointer. So yeah, that aircraft here, where my that aircraft here. This aircraft here is what this aircraft here is what I'm going to be building next. Before I do get on with the review, obviously, as in the last review, huge shout out to Adam and Airfix, Adam and Emily Houghton of Airfix and Horby Hobbies respectively, because they obviously those are the two lovely, kind people who who agreed to who replied to my godfather, who replied to my godfather and agreed with my godfather to send this kit out for free. And again, it's I've probably said, I know I said it at the beginning of the video, but it's the Airfix 1/72 scale, Airfix 1/72 scale RF Centenary gift set. RF Centenary gift set. Kit number, if you want to pause the video, kit number is A5081. And like I say, this review is going to be concentrating on the Spitfire. Right, and like I said, just repeat, and of course I know I just said it, but I'll say it again. It's a huge thank you to Airfix and Adam and Emily Houghton of Airfix and Horby Hobbies for sending this kit out for me. Although they've not paid me what to say, my opinions on the kit will be strictly my own opinions, and obviously, and they've not paid me, they've not paid me to have this kit done in a specific time frame, as it were, as in a specific time frame. So yeah, we'll get on with the review. So we'll go through the instructions for the Spitfire, and then we'll go through the instructions on the Spitfire, and then we'll go through the instructions on the Spitfire, and then we'll have a look at the kit itself, and we'll have a look at the kit and the decals itself, So Spitfire is a relatively quick and simple build. It's a 1 to 1 to 7 stage. It's got 7 stages and 7 stages of. It's got 7. 1, 2. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stages of construction. And 7 stages of construction. So it's a fairly quick and easy build. It's a very quick and easy build. And not a lot of sub-assembly, not a lot of sub-assemblies in it. Into not a lot of sub-assemblies in it, in the kit, so to speak. So yeah, so I'll go through now with you the construction progress. Those of you who are thinking why is it going through the instructions with you, it's just so that you guys get to know what's in the kit, and then how the breakdown of the kit's construction. But also it allows me to it also, when it comes to doing the update on this, the progress updates on this, I can choose how far along I get with the build before I then take photos of it, if that makes sense. Before I do the photos and the video, before I do the progress, before I do the first build log update, the first progress update on it. So stage one has you put the pilot into put the pilot into his seat, the seat onto its bulkhead, the rudder pedals and the floor, the cockpit floor, which has the rudder pedals molded on it all in one, the instrument panel, and of course the control column. Stage two, as you put the propeller together. Stage three has you put the completed cockpit assembly into the fuselage half, into one of the fuselage halves, into the port side fuselage half, the propeller into the fuselage half, into the port side fuselage half, and the compressed air bottles into the port side fuselage half, and then close the fuselage halves together to make one. Stage four has you put on the completed fuselage, your completed fuselage onto the bottom wing, and then put the two top wing halves, as well as the two top wing halves, the canopy, the horizontal stabilizers, and the rudder all together, and the rudder and the horizontal stabilizers all on. And it's just giving you a diagram there, reminding you to paint the wheel well in sky sky or grey or interior grey green, which is Humbrol number 90, Humbrol paint number 90, and obviously Humbrol 33 matte black for where the gun bays are, to create the shadowing effect. And then stage 5 has you paint stage 5 you put on the pitot tube. You put on the pitot tube, the oil cooler, the radiator, the back part of the air intake, the back part of the main air intake of the supercharger air intake, for the supercharger, the tail wheel, the friend or foe Morse code identification light, and then of course it gives you, and obviously the other thing you choose is obviously to pose the wheels up, pose the aircraft with wheels up or wheels down, Obviously stage 6 has you put the wheels on, and the front part of the supercharger air intake, And then stage 7, as you put on the radio mast. As you put on the radio mast. As you put on the radio mast. So I'll just give you a close up of the and then your colour scheme is this. Your colour scheme is this. It's a Supermarine Spitfire mk1a, of number 92 Squadron, number 92 East India Squadron, Royal Air Force, Manston, Kent, England, December 1940. Which is not too far from where I live, by the way, chaps and ladies. So yeah, that's your colour scheme. It's the obviously it's the usual dark grey. It's usually dark earth, dark green over dark grey, dark green, dark earth, dark green over sky camouflage. And then of course from December of 1940, particularly with 92 Squadron, with number 92 Squadron, they put on the port side of the fuselage, they paint the port side underneath the wing. On the port side, they painted this part of the underside of the wing black, and that goes all the way up to where the air intake. That goes all the way up to where the air intake is. Obviously, all your colours are lined out here. Are lined here. All your colours are called out here. All the colours you need are here. And obviously they call for them obviously on the aircraft itself. And obviously your decals obviously are called out for. Your decal sheet is obviously your decals are called out for in the your decals are called out for as well. Your decals are called out for in the diagrams, on the color scheme sheet as well. So what do you get kit wise? What do you get plastic wise? So of course you get seems this is a series 1 kit. You get two grey, you get two sprues of Airfix's grey plastic they use these days, and obviously your clear parts, and also your clear sprue for your canopy. So we'll have a look at this sprue first, because it concentrates on, well, it concentrates on the, obviously, the fuselage and the cockpit and the majority of the cockpit interior. So as you can probably see, if I can, so these are the fuselage. This, obviously, here's your port and starboard fuselage halves. Your port and starboard fuselage, your port and starboard fuselage halves here. You've got your port and starboard fuselage halves here. Detail wise, in terms of panel lines, nicely done, not over. The panel lines are nicely done, not overdone. Are really nicely done and not over. Are really nicely done and not overly done. They're not overly done. They're not underdone, but they're not overdone. So they're nice. So the panel lines are nicely done. You've got the split pins for the engine. You got the split pin heads for the engine cowlings. The engine cowlings. And you got, I think you got split. I think you got, and of course it has and of course that is the radio hatch. There's the radio hatch. It has, and of course on the real aircraft you'd have split pins there. You got split pin head detail on the battery, on the 12 volt battery on the 12 volt battery on the aircraft 12 volt battery compartment here. Of course you've got the radio mast, the radio mast there. Got the control column with the spade grip there. The inside of the wheel, the inside of the wheels, the inside of the wheels, propeller spinner, propeller spinner, propeller hub, and of course you've got the air intake, the supercharger, the supercharger intake, the supercharger, the back part of the supercharger intake, bottom of the pilot seat, the back of the the front part of the air intake charger, oil cooler, wheel legs, geared legs, back part of the instrument panel, and the structural space and the structural bulkhead that the seat attaches to. Of course, on this side you've got the back. Obviously you've got the propeller, you got the back half of the propeller, but the front, you got the back, you got the propeller as well, back side of it. Anyway, seat, structural seat bulkhead, the instrument panel. Again, there is no instrument, there's no dial, there's no detail in terms of dials, because the instrument panel is a decal. You got the gear legs there. You got the gear legs molded onto their fairings there. Front of the wheels, which are weighted, main wheels which are weighted, nice touch Airfix on that front of you. And then obviously you've got the interior detail of the various cockpit control, the various controls in the cockpit, and you'll see the string, the ribs
ribs and the stringers around the cockpit area. There's no everywhere else on the fuselage doesn't have the stringer and rib detail, the rib and stringer details on this aircraft, but obviously the cockpit does. The cockpit does. So yeah, I'll just give you a quick look at that fuselage. Again, all the details on this kit are nicely molded. They're not overly done. They're not overdone, but they're not underdone, if that makes sense. So the next part, the next sprue, you've got, obviously you've got your, so you got your exhaust, you've got your exhaust pipes here and here. And also you've got your wings, which you've got your wings here. You got your top wings halves here, which panel lines for which are nicely done. Again, are nicely done, not overdone. You've got the access hatches for the. You got the access hatches. You got the access hatches for the gun ports, and I don't know if you're going to pick them up, but like the engine. Like the engine cowling detail, you've got the split pins on the gun bay covers, on the gun bay covers. They're very fine detail, to be honest, so I don't know if you're going to pick them up. And then of course you've got the underside, the wing. Again, the panel lines are nicely done. They're not overly done. You've got the split. Again, you've got, I don't know if you're going to see that, pick this up. You've also got the split pin. You've got the split pin. You've got the heads. You've got the heads of the split pins for the split pins for the ammunition bay, on the split head pins on the ammunition. On the ammunition box, on the ammunition box access hatches. Your rudder, got the rudder there, nicely fabric. Again, the fabric detail on the rudder is nicely done, not overdone, but not underdone. Got the underside of the, got the underside of the cockpit, got the underside of the cockpit floor there. So this is where your oil cooler will go and your radiator. The air intake for the supercharger goes here, and your friend or foe identification Morse code light goes there. Radiator, underside of the horizontal. You've got the underside of the horizontal stabilizers here and here. Here and here. Wheels up option there and there. And of course, I don't know how well you're going to see this, but these are this component. And of course, you've got the tail wheel, but these two bottle-like shape component, these two group bottle shaped components here. These are the compressor bottles. These are the compressed air bottles, which are responsible, which store the air that store the air that are responsible for storing the air that is passed through to the air compressor, which is on the starboard side of the engine, which is on the starboard side cylinder head which is on the starboard side cylinder head, starboard side of the cylinder head on the Merlin engine, which then of course provides air for the brakes, the gun firing mechanism, the mechanism that the brakes, the flaps, and the gun firing mechanism, and it also does power and it's also responsible for is also responsible for assisting the hydraulics, the pneumatic system on the Spitfire is also responsible for powering the hydraulic system. It also helps the hydraulic system in terms of applying the brakes on the brakes on the Spitfire. So that's your so that's the compressed air bottles. And then last but certainly not least, as well as the top side of the horizontal stabilizers, you've also got the pilot, who's nicely molded, who's really well molded, to be honest with you. So yeah, I'll just give you a quick look at that. I'll give you a quick look at the sprue. I'll give you a quick look at the sprue. Yeah, I'll give you a chance to have a look at that sprue from both sides. Again, I'll give you a chance to have a look at the aircraft sprue, the fuselage sprue, and cockpit interior sprues. And then the last part, and then of course your last sprue that you get is your clear parts. Of course, this is where I'm going to have to use my my tweezers. This part here, number 36, this part here, which is number 36. I don't know how well my how well this part here, which is number 36. This is the friendly or foe identification. IFF. The indication this is the friend or foe, indicating Morse code light. And of course, this is the canopy, which is molded in the closed position. This is the canopy, which is molded in the closed position. The framing on the canopy is really well molded. So masking this up, if you want to mask it up, it shouldn't be a problem. If you're not confident with masking, you'll see the canopy framing is pronounced well enough. You can quite easily paint that with, obviously, by hand, freehand, without any masks. Obviously, if you do it, I would recommend, if you can, get hold of a smaller brush size to obviously paint the clear part on. Paint that clear part. I mean, if you do end up getting any if you were to get any paint on the non-framed parts of the canopy, just get just get the end of a cocktail skit and just gently scratch away the paint
but obviously not too sharply, so you end up getting a scratch. So you end up getting scratch marks. Not too heavily. Don't do it too heavily. What I'm trying to say is do it with a cocktail stick, so that way you don't do it too heavy, so you don't get any scratch marks on your canopy. But yeah, and then the only other thing really is the decal sheet, which I'm going to cover the Typhoon. I'm going to cover the Typhoon decals because obviously Typhoon decals you don't need. We're not interested at the moment because we're doing the Spitfire's being done next. But yeah, those are your Spitfire decals. You've got the two RF wing, the two upper wing RF rounders here, and the two lower wing RF rounders here. The RAF roundel with the squadron code, which is Q, which is Bravo, Quebec Lima, which is Bravo Quebec Bravo, which is Quebec Juliet Bravo, or Bravo Quebec Juliet, and of course you've got the letter B for Bravo on that goes on the front, goes on the access hatch, which is towards the front end of the propeller. And then you've got your RF fin flashes. You've got your RF fin flashes here, and of course your registration number, your aircraft serial number, which is X-ray 4561. And then of course you've got your sky, you've got your interior grey-green band that's a decal, and of course right there you've got right there is the instrument. Right here, tweezers, right here is the instrument panel. Right here is and that's the instrument panel for the Spitfire. So yeah, what do I think? Really nice kit, actually. It's a really nice kit. Having built the kit 3 times previously in the Biggin Hill market, having built the new tooling 3 times previously in the Biggin Hill markings, it goes together really well. Goes together really well. I'd highly recommend it to beginner, and I'm looking really forward to actually building it. So yeah, so all I've got remain to say is obviously all that's got to remain to be said. I know I said at the beginning of the video, but obviously thank you very much to Adam and Emily Houghton of Airfix and Hornby Hobbies respectively, and obviously thank you to my godfather to sending this kit out for free. Obviously I don't know when the first update on this kit will be, but when I do have the first update, obviously I'll bring it to you. But till the first update on this video, till the first build update on this kit, thank you very much. Obviously thank you very much for watching this video. Take care, have fun, enjoy modeling. Have fun, take care, have fun, enjoy modeling, stay safe, and stay safe. And I'll see you guys on the next video. All right. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much, and thank you very much for watching this video. Bye for now.